The following will be an overview for Visual Shop Floor version 9.05 enhancements. Starting with technology changes and then explore overall changes that have happened inside of the product. Then we can look at enhancements including dispatch capabilities, an enhancement for customer priority, and finally an enhancement for multiple jobs. Before we discuss the new technology, I want to just point out that inside of Visual you can find an existing video in our video library that is useful for showing you the common procedures inside of shop floor. Let's start reviewing the technology changes that have taken place. There's been a complete move from Team Developer over to the following technologies. The client user interface will be built using Angular 5+, with Angular CLI as the UI framework. The client application will communicate with the web services using JSON messaging. The web service is built with ASP.NET Web API 2. The authentication between client and web services is handled through JSON Web Tokens. Microsoft's library, OWIN, will generate and validate tokens. To ensure that transactions are secure, you must use SSL or TLS in production environments. The web service interacts with the database using the Infor-Visual Toolkit. For installation and prerequisite procedures, please see Infor-Visual's Shop Floor Installation and Configuration Guide. As prerequisites, the following applications must be installed: Infor-Visual 905 or higher, Internet Information Services 7.x or higher, ASP.NET 4.6 or higher. Additionally, the URL rewrite extension for IIS must be installed. Also note, if you use the Oracle Database Platform, the 32-bit version of the Oracle.NET client driver must be installed on the web application server. The Shop Floor application is also compatible with the latest versions of the following browsers. Included with the changes in technology, we have additional changes to the core Shop Floor product that we will go through next. Beginning with the sign-in menu, notice that the navigation bar has been removed, as well as the access to the database, which is now configured in the Web API. Next is a comparison between the old main menu and the new main menu. Primarily you can see that the icons have changed, but we will also cover navigation. Continuing the comparison, notice the old has the menu on the left-hand side, the new version has the drop-down menu on the right-hand side, and the menu options have changed. I can also stretch this window, and you'll notice that those menu options will appear in the top. Navigations in the previous release included a series of drill downs. In this example, I'm going into a resource, then down to the actual work orders for that resource. You'll notice up in the top there is a home button. I can return to the main menu by pressing that home button. In the new release, we have similar drill downs to lower level tables. Here you'll notice I'm back into a resource. I'll drill down even further into the details and also look at the materials. To go back, I'm no longer going to press the home button. I'm just going to go up in the ribbon and touch the top portion to navigate back home. Let's go through and review the changes for preferences. There is now just one preference maintenance. All of the available options are underneath tabs, scheduling, labor, and material. You'll also see that there's a submit button and a cancel button. You can work with the drill down windows, and site is at the header level. Focusing on the schedule tab, you'll notice that there are drop down menus being used. Simply do the selection and then the option will be filled in underneath, and the other options remain the same. Moving over to the labor tab, you will notice that we also use the drop-down selection menus here. Additionally, there are multiple job tabs, and you can see the use of the group buttons and being able to go through and select the group options. And finally, you can see that the option selection buttons are here, and the new option for automatically calculate the quantity complete is included. Moving over to the material tab, here you can notice two new options: announce transactions accepted and ask for confirmation before save. All of the icons have changed throughout the product. Here's just the comparison between what the old and the new have in the scheduling views, as well as looking over here at the labor and inventory views. The icons have changed. You can go to the release notes to see further details about the icons. Next, we can review the changes that we've done for specifications, pictures, and documents. Starting here with looking at specifications, you'll notice that we are grouping items underneath these modals. You can see that I have work order tabs as well as operation tabs. Both are displaying specifications added through the manufacturing window. Next, I'll choose a second operation that I have pictures and documents attached to. Once again, I'll check the picture modal and it opens up with the operation picture. I'm going to go over to the work order and you can see the picture that's attached to that. And I also have the work order part. And finally, of course, the operation again. Next, I can go through and look at any document attachments. And you'll notice here, there is a distinction between what's a work order versus an operation document. I can also go further and show more than the current operation using the Show All button. Additionally, you'll notice that these 4 buttons have now been moved to the top of the screen, so there are no longer any bottom buttons displaying. Part, work order, and operation number displays have been updated. The top portion will be the part ID. Second will be the work order. Operations will be in paren. Operations having asterisks are concurrent resources. Also, you'll notice the leg IDs and split IDs will be identified on work orders. Now we can review a few enhancements that have been completed for this current release, starting with dispatch capabilities. Users having dispatch permissions can sequence operations inside of this current view. If I select the row, I can press the up-down arrows to move the operations. I can also use a drag and drop technique to move the rows. Or if you're using a tablet, you can double tap and slide to move the operation. Submit the changes and you'll notice that the dispatch indicators are being displayed. If needed, you can go back and reset using the reset button to the original schedule. Next, we will look at setting dispatch permissions. Under the security menu, I'm going to go into the user security, change the setting to user, and select the user. On the bottom of the window underneath the status tab, you'll notice that I have the allow dispatching button. I'll turn that on, and now my user can modify the operation sequences inside of resource schedule view inside of the shop floor module. Next, we can review the enhancement for customer priority. Functionality has been added to display a customer priority. Here in this example, you'll notice that I have numbers 1 through 3 displaying inside of the resource schedule. Keep in mind that these are only a number display for priority, and it doesn't impact the sort order. Setting the customer priority is available inside of a work order header. Customer priorities of 0 through 3 are available, but keep in mind a 0 priority will not display in the shop floor. The final enhancement that we will look at for version 9.05 will be the multiple job selection. Starting in the resource view of shop floor, I'm going to go to the preferences and I'm going to select labor, and here I can talk about the multiple job selections. Of course, you've got prorate hours spent or prorate cost. I'm going to make my selection, then submit it. Then I'm going to go back over and start to explore the assembly resource. And here you'll notice now I have a column for selection. And I'm going to select 3 operations. And you'll notice that all I need to do is press the Start Run button and the icons will start to change. They are all processing at the same point in time, 3 different labor tickets. If I need to stop jobs, I will do that one at a time. And I'll stop this job, and you'll notice that the one operation is now changed on the icon and the other 2 are still running. Thank you for watching this video on Visual Shop Floor version 9.05 enhancements.